By the mid to late 60s, you had James Brown and funk influences that were really basically coming out of jazz. What was going on in funk jazz, Jimmy Smith, a lot of that kind of, Lee Morgan, what they call that, get it in your soul music, And that's when James Brown started that, I guess it was about 65 with, basically, in a sense, sort of stuff that led up to Sex Machine, like. Snippet. I hope that's not bothering anybody. But what the upshot of that was that my first album that Gary was referring to, Dress Is Too Short, I mean, Syl Johnson was one of many Chicago blues solo players, and there were guys all over the country, doing that. That was the time of the big soul, movement that was Atlantic Records and Muscle Shoals and, Booker T and MGs, all those guys, Otis Redding, but they all had core groups that they worked with, and that sound became so predominant that people in blues had to keep up with it. So Syl Johnson was a friend of Magic as a soul singer for a while. He's made a recent comeback, but for instance, I'll play a little bit of Dress Is Too Short.
You ain't just as too short, mama, mama, mama. You ain't just as too short. I love your sexy ways, the way that you do your thing. Why do you blame me, baby? I didn't do a doggone thing. You looking good, mama. You looking so good. Sock it to me one more time. I can't say it. I'm losing my mind. I said, baby, you ain't just as too short.
All right, I'll solo it. So that soul influence was modified with blues. Like when I soloed on that, it was more of a blues solo thrown in on a soul beat, And some guys didn't do it. Some cats with soul records tended to play more of like in a gospel style. If they're into a chord, for instance, like if they were in C, a blues guitarist would go like. But a lot of the soul cats were coming out of gospel. Like a Snooks Eaglin song that Earl King wrote. It was like.